So this is just a video on congruent shapes and also specifically triangles. So a congruent shape is if they are the same. So for example, they have the same side, which has the same length, or they have an angle, which is the same size. Generally, there are rules for these, and triangles there are 4 specific rules that are important. So most times, if you're looking at a shape, if I draw a square and I say this is 4 centimeters, if I draw another square and say this is 6 centimeters, we know that they're not congruent because they're not the same. So it's fairly easy to see that whether a shape is the same or not, or if we have, for example, a shape that's a bit more obscure, something like this, and then we have another one which looks like this. If we imagine that they're to scale and we say they're the same, if all these sides are the same, we could rotate this one and we would see that it would look exactly the same as this one, and therefore these 2 shapes are congruent. So if we're looking at triangles, there's slightly more to it. There are 4 rules, as I mentioned, and these are S, 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 which stands for side, side, side. Then you have A, S, A, which is angle, side, and angle. Then you have SAS, so again, side, angle, side. And then you have something called RHS, which is slightly different, which is right angle, hypotenuse, side. And what these basically mean are these are the 3 things that you need to look out for in a triangle to make sure they're the same. So let's start with side, side, side. So in an SSS triangle, you will have one triangle that might look like this and another that looks like this, and essentially they just, all 3, they need to have the same side. So for example, 5 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 9 centimeters. So this one also has 5 centimeters, 9 centimeters and 8 centimeters, and so they are congruent using the SSS rule, and that would be a reason to give in an exam as well. So then looking at ASA, in this one we need 2 angles which are the same and 1 side which is the same. So again, looking at 2 triangles. These could be, if we say this here is an angle of 60 degrees and this one here is an angle of 40 degrees. Then again, we have 60 degrees here and 40 degrees here. So if we've got the 2 angles here, then the length between them, and that's important, so it has to be this side here, has to be the same. So that's 5 centimeters and this is 5 centimeters, and yes, they are the same. So these 2 triangles are congruent following the ASA rule. We then have SAS, so side, angle, side. So again, if we have 2 triangles, they've got to have the same angles, same angle in between the 2 sides which are the same. So if we say these are 40 degrees and 40 degrees, then this would be 8 centimeters and 12 centimeters, and again 8 centimeters and 12 centimeters. So these 2 are congruent following the SAS rule. And then finally we have RHS, which looks at it in a right angle triangle. So again, if you have 2 right angle triangles, you just need the hypotenuse and one other side to be the same. So again, 12 centimeters for both the hypotenuse and then 5 centimeters for the other side. And that is congruency in triangles.